Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to unpack complex topics, looking closely at the source materials to find those really useful insights.
And today we're diving into something that, well, feels pretty personal for a lot of folks, organizing your life.
Right, but with a specific focus strategies tailored for adults with ADD.
Exactly. Our main source here is the second edition of ADD-Friendly Ways to Organize Your Life. It's by Judith Kohlberg, who's a professional organizer, and Dr. Kathleen Nadeau, a clinical psychologist.
So, a really interesting combination of expertise there.
Yeah, practical organizing meets psychological understanding.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive, let's try to pull out the core ideas, the practical techniques from this book.
We want to get at the why, why organizing is such a struggle for adults with ADD.
And how these authors suggest tackling it in ways that actually work with the ADD brain, not against it.
Right. And the book's structured with different levels of support, which is helpful. Plus, there's new stuff on digital organization.
Oh, that's huge. Digital clutter is, well, it's a modern minefield, isn't it?
Totally. And it's worth mentioning, experts like Dr. Ned Hallowell really praise this book. They say it nails how the ADD brain wiring impacts organizing.
Which is often the missing piece in standard organizing advice, I guess.
Exactly. It goes beyond just tidy up.
So let's talk about the ADD brain and organizing. What's the core idea here?
Well, the book basically says organizing isn't just about neatness. For adults with ADD, it's really about navigating these unique challenges with executive functions.
Executive functions,
Yeah.
like the brain's management system.
Yeah, think of it like air traffic control. It manages planning, starting tasks, staying focused, managing time, keeping track of stuff, all that.
Okay.
And for many adults with ADD, that system can be, let's say, inconsistent, or it struggles to get going sometimes.
Which leads to that feeling of life being kind of chaotic and overwhelming.
Precisely. You see it in cluttered homes, piles of chores, forgetting things because they're, out of sight.
Missed appointments, late bills.
Yet the financial stress that comes with that, overdrafts, late fees. The book argues that normal organizing tips often fail because they don't address why the mess happens.
They miss the root cause those executive function challenges. The clutter is just a symptom.
Exactly. And it's not something people just grow out of. ADD evolves, sure, but the underlying wiring is still there.
And modern life, especially the internet, just throws more fuel on the fire, right? More complexity, more distractions.
It really does. And the book points out something interesting about stress, particularly for women.
Oh,
Well, it notes that societal expectations around managing the home and kids often fall more heavily on women.
right?
So combine that with ADD challenges, maybe long commutes, kids' busy schedules, the stress can just skyrocket.
That makes a lot of sense. So recognizing these aren't simple issues, the book lays out this framework, 3 levels of support.
Yes, exactly. They break it down into 1, self-help, strategies you can try on your own, building your own structure.
Okay.
2, non-professional help. So getting support from family, friends who understand.
And 3,
Professional support, working with people like professional organizers, ADD coaches, therapists.
and they emphasize finding professionals who actually get ADD, right? Not just generalists.
Absolutely. They need to be educated, maybe even credentialed in ADD. At understanding and, frankly, compassion are key.
Because just saying try harder or make a list can backfire, just adds frustration.
Totally. It misses the point.
Okay, so let's dig into some specific areas the book covers. Where do these organizing challenges typically pop up?
Well, a huge one is daily routines,
Hmm.
especially mornings and evenings. That feeling of chaos.
Ah, yes. The book uses examples like Karen's story. I think a lot of people can relate to that morning rush.
Definitely. The what do I wear dilemma, getting kids fed and ready, the scramble for keys, bags, trying desperately to get out the door on time.
And then the evening unwind, or lack thereof, homework, bedtime routines, mail, bills, feeling like there's zero time left.
These aren't small things. They really set the tone for the whole day or leave you feeling drained at night.
So what are some level 1 sort of self-help solutions for that?
Often it's about simplifying, reducing the complexity, the decision points.
Like Karen simplifying her wardrobe. Fewer choices means less decision fatigue in the morning.
Exactly. Or packing lunches the night before. Taking tasks out of that high-pressure morning slot.
Makes sense. Reduce the load when your executive functions might be running low.
Right. Dividing up household chores is another big one. And a really practical technique is the launching pad.
The launching pad. Love this one. A specific spot by the door for everything you need to leave.
Yes. Keys, wallet, phone, backpack, masks. Whatever it is.
It works because of that out of sight, out of mind thing, doesn't it? If it's not right there, you might forget it in the rush.
Precisely. It's like an external checklist built into your physical space. It compensates for working memory or planning challenges.
So it's not just about tidiness, it's about externalizing the remembering.
Yeah. The book also suggests streamlining things like grocery shopping. Plan based on meals. Maybe buy certain staples in bulk.
Less decision-making in the store, less running out of things.
And another core level 1 habit. Short, consistent daily cleanups. Like Karen's family doing a 5 or 10-minute nightly tidy up.
Just keeping the chaos from building up to overwhelming levels.
Right. It stops that feeling of being buried. Which touches on another point the book makes. This pattern of adding without subtracting.
Accumulating things, activities, commitments, but finding it hard to let go of the old ones.
Exactly. Which leads to packed schedules and crowded spaces, and that feeds chronic stress.
Which brings us neatly to decluttering, managing all that stuff.
Yep. The visible result of adding without subtracting and maybe struggling with where things should go or finding the time to put them there.
The book talks about contributors to the chaos, right? Like being drawn to fun stuff and avoiding boring tasks like tidying up.
Yeah, that novelty seeking or acquiring things without having a designated home for them and just being constantly late or rushed so things just get dropped wherever.
And then the clutter itself becomes overwhelming, which makes it harder to start cleaning it up. It's a cycle.
Definitely. And decluttering is tough for the ADD brain anyway.
Yeah.
It needs focus, decision-making, starting the task, all those executive functions.
So what are some level 1 decluttering strategies that make it less terrifying?
Starting small is key, really small. Pick something visible, something quick to get a win.
Like just the top of the coffee table or one shelf in the bookcase.
Exactly. Get that little hit of dopamine, that sense of progress. They also talk about the level of focus. Maybe do a quick macro sweep, first trash, obvious things put away, then tackle details later.
Breaking it down
into tiny steps. There's even a creative idea using a cardboard tube like a spyglass to narrow your focus to just one tiny area.
That helps with the visual overwhelm, I bet.
Or just covering big piles of clutter with sheets so you're not visually distracted by everything at once.
Okay, that's clever. And leveraging small moments.
Yeah, thinking like a server in a restaurant, always scanning, looking for one small thing to take away or tidy up.
Or cleaning the glove compartment at a red light. Those organizational moments.
Right. And for the tough decisions, keep or toss. They suggest things like aging clutter. Put maybes in a box, label it, store it away for 6 months if you haven't needed it.
It's easier to let go later. The emotional attachment fades.
Or the quality or quantity rule. Got 10 black t-shirts, keep the best 2 or 3.
Makes sense. What about that friends, acquaintances, strangers game?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Sorting based on your gut feeling. Friends love it, keep it. Acquaintances useful sometimes, maybe keep. Strangers, what even is this? Get rid of it.
Framing it emotionally instead of logically, which might be easier sometimes.
Could be. It bypasses some of that analytical paralysis.
So what if these level 1 things aren't enough? If the clutter feels like too much?
Then you move to level 2 or 3, like using a clutter companion, a non-judgmental friend or family member.
For support, accountability. Maybe make it faster or more fun.
Exactly. Or hiring a professional organizer, a PO. Especially if there's a huge backlog. They have techniques like the 3-box method or the Mount Vernon method for big jobs.
But the book also cautions, right? If it's really extreme hoarding or you feel totally paralyzed.
Yeah, then it might be pointing to deeper issues like depression, anxiety, or maybe even hoarding disorder itself. Therapy might need to come first.
Okay. So that paralysis links to another area of decision-making.
Another executive function challenge. The book describes a few common ADD patterns here.
Like finding it really hard to actually make a decision.
Yeah, or going the other way, getting lost in endless research, the hunter pattern, they call it.
Right, gathering information forever.
Making impulsive decisions just to get it over with, or just kind of letting things happen, letting others decide. Passivity.
The book gives examples, like Alicia getting swamped planning a vacation, or John avoiding making a choice altogether.
So a level 1 strategy, especially for that hunter research spiral, is fencing in the hunt.
Setting limits, like I'll check 3 websites or spend 30 minutes and then decide.
Exactly. Recognizing the pattern and creating boundaries before you start.
And for more support.
Level 2 could be a decision coach again, a friend or family member. But their job isn't to give advice.
It's to ask questions to help you figure out what you think and feel.
Right, reflecting your own thoughts back to you. And level 3, professionals, a PO, ADD coach, or an organizer coach can help with bigger decisions tied to goals.
Like figuring out realistic goals, breaking them down, deciding what support you need to actually achieve them.
Exactly, helping structure that whole process.
Okay, this next one is fascinating. Managing stimulation hunger and hyperfocus.
Yeah, this is really core to the ADD experience for many. That feeling of stimulation hunger, the brain needing more novelty, interest, or urgency to really engage.
Linked maybe to dopamine levels?
Potentially, yeah.
Mhm.
It's not just being easily bored, it's like needing a higher threshold for activation, which can lead to putting off boring tasks.
Or seeking stimulation in ways that aren't always helpful.
Right. And the flip side is hyperfocus, getting so intensely absorbed in something interesting.
Which sounds good, but the problem is shifting away from it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Difficulty disengaging to do other necessary things.
Mhm.
The book uses examples like Jerry's chaotic morning, trying to cram in stimulation, or Marge using food for stimulation.
So level 1 solutions are about working with this need for stimulation.
Yeah, constructively. Can you use a fun, stimulating activity as a reward after you do the boring task?
Save the video game until after the chores are done.
Right. Or finding inherently stimulating activities, joining a club, taking a class that genuinely interests you.
And managing the hyperfocus side, that seems critical for not losing track of time.
Absolutely. External timers are huge here. Pomodoro technique, work 25, break 5, simple phone alarms, apps.
Maybe even scheduling computer shutdowns to force a break.
That's a great one. Or setting up really loud, impossible to ignore reminders for things you have to switch tasks for.
Making tedious tasks more stimulating is another idea, right?
Turn cleaning into a race against the clock. Listen to engaging podcasts while doing laundry. Find ways to add novelty or challenge.
The cutting it close game for getting places on time using that urgency need.
Yeah, though that one can be stressful. But for some, it works. And finding a career that naturally provides that stimulation can be life-changing.
Makes sense. And if these patterns are really causing problems,
Then level 3 support, talking to an ADD therapist or coach, is the way to go, to understand the patterns and find healthier strategies.
Okay, on to another classic challenge. Time management. That plenty of time thinking the book mentions.
Ah, yes, often called time blindness. It's not being deliberately late, it's often a genuine difficulty feeling time pass or accurately judging how long things take.
So you underestimate travel time or don't schedule specific tasks because the deadline feels far away.
Exactly, you don't build in buffer time, and the result is that chronic lateness, always feeling rushed, the state of rushness.
Like Steffi always thinking the drive is shorter than it is, or Elisa just struggling to get out the door.
So level 1 strategies focus on making time more visible, more concrete. First, just being aware of fuzzy time estimates, or thinking you can do everything at warp speed.
Except in reality, basically.
And using external cues, analog clocks you can see, time timers that visually show time disappearing.
Making appointments with yourself, actually blocking out time on the calendar for specific tasks.
Yes. Treat that block just like an appointment with your boss or doctor. And balancing your time bank account, being realistic about how many hours you actually have.
Other things, Pomodoro, maybe switching between different types of tasks to stay fresh.
Visually blocking time on a calendar helps. Working in shorter bursts that match your attention span.
Using routines, checklists, the launching pad, again, anything to streamline those transitions like leaving the house.
And planning to arrive early. Building in that buffer reduces so much stress. The book even suggests finding ways to use waiting time constructively. Got 10 minutes. Answer that email.
Okay, and level 2-3 for time.
The time guesstimate game. With a friend or family member, a time tutor. Estimate, time to compare. It builds awareness.
That sounds revealing. Maybe painfully so at first.
Huh, probably. But helpful. And working with a professional PO, coach, therapist to set up realistic schedules. Figure out why you're always late for that specific thing and develop targeted strategies.
This is also where learning to say no comes in, or at least a qualified yes.
Definitely. Negotiation skills, often learned with a time tutor or coach. Saying, yes, but I'll need X, or using that 1.2 ratio for every new thing in, 2 things go out.
To combat that chronic overcommitment.
Which, as the book highlights, has a really high cost. Stress, burnout, no personal life.
Right. Okay, shifting gears slightly, organizing information. Paper and digital. Another huge area.
Oh, absolutely. Paper clutter is classic ADD territory. Piles everywhere because out of sight, out of mind, and difficulty with filing systems. Zoe's story in the book is a good example.
So level 1 paper strategies have to work with that need for visibility, right?
Exactly. Vertical files, designated hotspots on a desk, keep things upright and visible, but contained, not just flat stacks.
And the book has some creative filing ideas too, beyond just AZ or by category.
Yes, verbing papers, filing by the action needed, a to-pay file, to-call file, to-read file.
Action-oriented makes sense. And muttering papers.
Yeah. Filing by your immediate gut reaction. Follow up and now. Or, this might bite me later.
Whatever helps you find it again, I guess. Leveraging intuition.
Right. Less abstract, more immediate.
And then digital information. The invisible tsunami.
Email backlogs, endless downloads, the lure of infinite information online, becoming information junkies, compulsive checking,
Right.
work creeping into personal time.
Like Elliot's paper backlog, or Joe getting lost online, or Mark and Maya constantly distracted.
So level 1 digital strategies are about managing the flow and setting boundaries, using simple filing systems, default folders, maybe some subfolders, but don't overcomplicate it.
And chunking online time, like check email only at 10 a.m. and 3 p.m., not constantly.
Crucial. Set specific blocks for email, social media, news, reduces the constant switching and interruptions.
Creating device-free zones or times is important too, like no phones at dinner or an hour before bed.
Yeah, combating work creep. And the advice to not check email first thing, that's gold. Don't let the outside world flood in before you've even oriented yourself. Close yesterday before opening today.
Using apps, maybe task apps that are more engaging, like carrot.com, or just the simple notes app for quick lists.
Whatever works to externalize it. And developing worry outlets.
Like a physical folder or digital file to dump worries or distracting ideas into.
Yeah, with a scheduled time later to actually look at them, gets them out of your head, reduces that background anxiety, gives them a place and a time.
Applying gathering guidelines, being selective about what info you consume or keep.
Right. Focusing interests, maybe rotating them with something like the ring method so you don't try to follow everything at once.
And tackling the internet black hole, knowing when to stop searching.
Key survival skill. Recognizing diminishing returns. Setting timers for online tasks. Using website blockers if needed.
And for digital overwhelm, level 2-3.
Hiring a tech tamer, a PO who specializes in digital organizing. They can help set up systems.
Or an online buddy for accountability during specific tasks.
Yeah, a friend checking in. Maybe even temporarily giving devices to family for safekeeping if distraction is extreme. And of course, professional help if it feels like true internet addiction.
It feels really important, and the book seems to stress this, that sometimes the disorganization isn't just about needing better strategies.
Absolutely. It can be tangled up with deeper emotional or psychological stuff. Unrealistic expectations, perfectionism that leads to never starting.
Depression, anxiety. These things sap your energy and motivation for organizing.
Exactly. The example of Marge's CAOS, profound difficulty across the board, really highlights this. Sometimes you need to treat the underlying ADD, maybe with medication or therapy, or address co-occurring depression or anxiety first.
Before the organizing strategies can really stick, you need the capacity to implement them.
Right, you need the bandwidth. So level 3 support, like therapy or counseling, can be crucial for addressing those deeper issues and reducing the stress that fuels the disorganization cycle.
It's all interconnected, isn't it? Like managing stimulation hunger might reduce impulse spending, which reduces clutter.
Exactly. Tackling one area often has positive ripple effects elsewhere.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. Routines, clutter, decisions, stimulation, time, information. Pulling it all together, what are the big overarching principles for success here, according to the book?
I think the most powerful one is working with your ADD brain, not just constantly battling it.
Finding ways to make things fun, using that need for stimulation positively, leveraging hyper-focus when you can.
Yeah. And the absolute necessity of finding the right mix of structure and support, external systems plus help from others, is rarely just one.
And permission. Permission to start really small, set goals that feel achievable, not overwhelming.
Build momentum with those small wins. Don't aim for perfection overnight. One drawer, one pile.
And constantly externalizing, getting reminders, plans, lists out of your head and into the physical or digital world.
Because out of sight, out of mind is real. Relying on willpower alone often doesn't cut it. Planners, apps, visual cues, they're essential tools, not weaknesses.
And finally, realizing that asking for help friends, family, professionals isn't failure.
Not at all. It's a smart, valid strategy. The book really empowers you to seek and use that higher level support when you need it.
Wow. That was definitely a deep dive into these ADD-friendly ways, a whole toolbox of strategies, really.
Yeah, and it's clear that organizing for the ADD brain often looks different from traditional approaches. It has to.
It's less about achieving some kind of perfect magazine-ready look.
And more about creating systems that actually work for you. Systems that reduce stress, manage the chaos, and free up your energy for the things you genuinely care about.
Right. Sustainable systems, not just temporary fixes.
So thinking about all these strategies, the focus on working with brain wiring, external structure, different levels of support, maybe here's something for you, the listener, to consider.
Great.
What's one small, genuinely ADD-friendly experiment you could try this week? Just one thing to bring a little more calm or a bit more ease into one corner of your life that feels chaotic right now.
Something small to start with. Thanks for diving deep with us today.